Hey, Randy Joe here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, of course, we're going to be checking out the long-awaited album from Tyler, the Creator, newly released, just came out today, CHROMAKOPIA. It has been about 3.5 or so years since we've seen something from Tyler, the Creator, which was in the form of Call Me If You Get Lost, which was a phenomenal album where he really flexed himself throughout the entirety of it in a very tropical, summery, just breezy, beautiful LP that I still go back to, especially during those warm summer months. However, he typically releases every 2 years, and he did break that tradition by not releasing last year and is making up for it with today's release, the very much anticipated CHROMAKOPIA. Announced only 2 weeks ago, Tyler wasted no time in rolling this thing out, and he is releasing it on a Monday. A very weird, unorthodox thing to do considering most albums nowadays are released on Fridays. That is the standard. He also released it at 6 a.m. today rather than midnight, which again, also very unorthodox. Simply because, from what I gather, Tyler wants people to experience this album, more in the moment, more culturally, as they play out throughout their day. Not necessarily just hearing it on a Friday after a day of work and just kind of writing it off. He wants this one to really sit in people's minds. So I imagine with this long wait for an album, as well as the unorthodox release, this is going to be an album that he put a lot of heart and soul into, and one that has a significant importance to him. Especially that album cover, by the way. I just want to say, beautiful album cover. Love it. Giving kind of like Igor vibes back there, but with a bit of a neo-noir kind of twist to it, kind of horror-esque. But let's not waste any more time here. This is a 53-minute album with 14 tracks, and we're going to kick it off with, of course, the opener, Saint Chroma, which I gather is the character, perhaps, that he's embodying this time around, because Igor, of course, kicked off with Igor's theme. Call Me If You kicked off with Sir Baudelaire. So in that sense, it seems like every album of his kicks off with a distinct character theme to set the stage, which I personally really enjoy that tradition. So kicking it off though, say Chroma.
You are the light.
That's the title. Wonderful to hear him shout it out throughout the album. Oh. Marching, he's been doing that since Flower Boy era. Love that eerie whisper along with the overdubbing vocals to back it up. Love his don't give a fuck attitude, of course. Still on full display as always. Daniel Caesar here, coming on the chorus. Oh, a nasty drop here. Kicking it off. Exploding.
CHROMAKOPIA.
When he utters that, like a desperation.
Can you feel the light inside? Can you feel that fire?
Beautiful. So angelic.
She ain't never met no.
Oh, we're going to go right into the next one, but I got to say, kicking it off strong, explosive sound. CHROMAKOPIA, from what I've read, seems to be about the explosion of color. If you separate the words chroma and copia, their distinction is, again, an abundance of color, which goes against, of course, the very black and white cover. So that kickoff with that explosion there really feels like it sets the stage of an explosion of sound, of color, of vibrance, perhaps. And I got to say, on that track, getting super R&B here, getting super soulful, remind me a little bit more of Igor in a sense. let's go into Ratata.
One who talk like that, and if you hang up on a nigga, bitch, I call right back. Yeah, roll my windows up, dollar rolling windows up. Biscuit ass niggas wonder how I got my jiffy up. Grip so damn big, I need a diaper and a sipping cup. Someone tells Zendaya she my favorite, cause she hit me up. Ha 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 ha, when I double park.
Very bassy. This album has been so far. Very, very like explosive in its sound. Feeling a little bit more Cherry Bomb-esque, taking what he's learned from there.
That rat-ta-ta-ta, bitch, I'm stepping on the gas. She ain't never met no one who bed top bunker. The boy got thumpers. I'm a bona fide face seat box muncher.
Oh, getting a little little Danny Brown-esque, perhaps.
Flood this, I flood that. I swim good, I'm Pisces. Hey T, why you acting hard? I'm like,
Love how hungry he sounds on this track too. The hungriest we've heard him in a while, just so visceral in his rhymes.
I ain't tough, I just thumbs up like I'm scrolling feed. She ain't never met no one who talk like that. And if you hang up, the S dome was getting pressed and almost packed out. Me and Lionel Boyce in drama class, my boy could act now. It was really odd. Future, all them other niggas whacked out. The biggest out the city after Kenny, that's a fact now.
Shouting out his OG group, Odd Future. I want to also say, this track kind of reminded me of the kind of horror-esque tones of Goblin. You know, it feels like he's taking, again, a lot of what he's learned from his discography and blending it all together quite well.
You
know, Cherry Bomb meets Goblin, perhaps, a little bit.
Hang up on a nigga, bitch, I call right back. Yo. I'm paranoid now because niggas weird and really bums. I'm paranoid now because niggas weird and really bums. I'm paranoid now because
he's
niggas
paranoid,
really bums.
going right into Noid, which, great single. Heard this before the album dropped. I gotta say, this one is fantastic. But let's keep it going because, I mean, I know it. I love it. Let's play it here. Very futuristic and spacey in its effects. Those synths. Oh, I love that drop. It's like a slow, kind of ticking time bomb aspect to this track. Oh, I love this chorus, sampling a Zambian band. That Zambian influence just feels like he's really kind of digging into kind of the roots here.
Can't even buy a home in private. Home invasions got my brothers.
I love this verse.
Driving by, I think my neighbors want me dead. I got a cannon under
really pictures.
Triple checking if I lock the door. I know every creek that's in the floor. Motherfucker, I'm paranoid.
Really paints the picture of, you know, paranoia, especially within the celebrity status. You know, the fans, those crazy fanatics chasing him around. Something that he's spoken on for years, going all the way back to Wolf, as far as I remember. Love, you know, that whole message that he's always kind of brought, you know, the parasocial relationships becoming more current, a much more, you know, relevant topic nowadays. Tyler was ahead on that, it would seem. And here, still addressing it. With such a, just like, fiery track. Just love the energy on this one. And it feels so tense with the build-up. Oh, those classic synths in the background. Again, very Igor-esque. Beautiful synth work he's always on. That intense paranoia taking him over. Always on the edge of his seat.
Don't trust these people out here, please. Whatever you do, keep to yourself. Keep your business to yourself. Don't even trust these motherfucking accountants, because they will try to get over on you, okay? Please, because I don't want to have to fuck nobody up. I promise to God.
His mom, always been a key feature, I feel like, throughout his discography.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. No cameras out, please.
I love the clarity in this verse. It's like a clearing of the stage.
Way before 19, LA do that to you. Where you from, nigga? Who you? Saddle ever not at all, y'all niggas cross the line like fuck the stop sign. They wanna know where I close my eyes at. I keep my eyes wide. Oh, got this shit cooked, Brody. Look, Brody.
I love his flow here.
Niggas want info about me.
This part's always so funny to me.
Read a book on me. Leave me alone.
Love that drop.
Shoulder right, shoulder left. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Damn.
I want to say something real quick about that track. I feel like a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I've seen some people, I should say, online, discredit Noid or you know, kind of ridicule it a little bit more heavily because they feel the sample, the kind of, like I said, ticking time bomb sense to that track. I think Anthony Fantano actually said it. Felt like there is a buildup that never comes. It feels like you are, in a sense, blue-balled and taken away from this drop that has been teased. The thing is, I think, if anything, this never-ending buildup that never really results in a grand finale kind of speaks to the paranoid nature that he's talking about on the track. He is, again, constantly paranoid, looking over his shoulder, and there is really no result of it. It's just him always sort of feeling very anxious about things. And I think the kind of continual buildup without that drop really feels like it mimics that, you know, constantly building tension and anxiety of paranoia that never really ends. So, in my opinion, I think that slow buildup is essential to the track, and that lack of a drop, again, is essential to the track itself. I don't want a big drop. I don't think every track needs a big drop just because there's a buildup. Sometimes the lack of a drop is even more impactful than having a drop at all. And I feel like that track kind of executes that idea pretty well, especially given the themes. But Darling I, let's keep it going.
Whatever you do, don't ever tell no bitch you love her. If you
Can't shave, holding on a tiny dollar bond, it's just like rain. I can't sign the dotted line. Just
This one a bit sweeter. We go into a bit more of a softer R&B kind of melodic approach. I love a nice melody. Sweet one. Oh, it's Teaser Touchdown on here. Not the biggest fan personally of Tizo, but I think him and Tyler are always great together from what we've gathered so far.
Yeah, I drive my Beamer in the summer when I'm ready to drift. La Ferrari handle better and it's pretty as shit. Feel safe in the road, big boy when I drive.
His continual flexing off Call Me If You Get Lost here.
Monogamy, that shit is not a thing. Perfect for the time being. I ain't do nothing wrong. Life is short, but forever it's so goddamn long.
Ooh.
I like a long time. I'm on my own time. I let this girl
Doesn't want to
know
commit
I
to
hit
this
the
girl.
gold mine. I'm thinking new crib. I'm thinking 2 kids until I get infatuated with a new bitch. But when that gray hair finally come, at least I felt something if I ain't found the one. Nobody could fulfill me like this music shit does. So I'll be lonely with these Grammys when it's all said and done.
Oh, I love that verse. Really speaks to Tyler's nature of, you know, not believing in the one and monogamy. I love his very just kind of carefree nature, but still speaks on the loneliness perhaps that might come from it. Self-aware.
And I want you to explore too. Have those moments and experiences. I don't own you. It's not fair just to be stuck with me.
Letting him or her be free as well. Doesn't want her or him tied down. Tyler,
transparency is key. Be honest.
as sweet as ever, you know, full of romance. It is super sappy. It's beautiful. Again, we've seen Tyler explore the themes of love time and time again, and he does it in such a throwback kind of R&B way that feels very vintage while still feeling very futuristic with those synths. You know, Igor, of course, a full-length love LP, but What's Your Name off of Call Me If You Get Lost, you know, beautiful love tracks. And Darling I loved it now, and I feel like with repeated listenings, it's going to go up there with the rest of them. So, killing it as always. Hey Jane is this one here.
Always. Where
Time blocking the driveway, I cannot pull out now. I didn't pull out. Wow, I'm disappointed in me. This ain't like me. How could I be reckless? This ain't my lifestyle. Never had no scare in my life till now. Ain't in the space to raise no god.
Getting so vulnerable on this track here as he exposed himself to this Jane. Speaking on pregnancy, perhaps. Maybe being kind of stuck like he doesn't want to be, as mentioned on the previous.
Child, hey Jane, I'm terrified, petrified. I don't want to give my freedom up or sanitize it. This my fault, the results are justified. Jane, it's your choice at the end of the day. Just know I support either way, no pressure.
Pro-choice. Seems to be Tyler's motive here.
Hey T, we got the news and I forgot how to breathe. In the panic, you was comforting me. Damn, what do we do? What are the odds? Is this really true? If it was bound to happen to me, I'm lucky it's you. Hey T, your legs long and your waist thin, and we could both relate to the fact we got great skin. You're not dumb and your energy is a
This
good
from the
mood,
the female here.
Overall, you's a good dude. You just hope to God I get my period again. I was 24 when... Look, I don't want to go through that experience again.
Ooh.
Hey T, things happen. No one is wrong, but I don't need to stress. I could.
This one's getting pretty kind of depressing in its tone, but still very vulnerable, very raw, which I love. You know, the kind of cutoff here, speaking on the story, but doesn't want to fully commit to telling it. You know, speaks to the pain of it that affects this woman.
This ain't a pride thing. This some more. I put out my life as a habit. I see. Can you crack a window so I could breathe?
Having a bit of a panic attack, perhaps here.
I am too. It was so hard for me to tell you to tell truth.
I love how low key the instrumental is on here.
Like damn, I failed me. I'm scared to tell my mama no resentment anytime you get near me. My body has a clock and I don't know what it end be. Emotions is throwing around like a frisbee. My titties getting bigger and I'm craving a 10-piece.
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
No matter the decision of the day, I just want us to be cool either way. No pressure.
Great track. I loved the little slight humor at the end there. But overall, a very raw, down-tempo track. I loved how low-key it was instrumentally. Well, the lyrics were on full display. Shows how sharp the pen is for Tyler here. Loved the switch of perspectives as well, from Tyler to the woman here that he got pregnant. It's very beautifully done, very carefully developed, very raw, very visceral. Doesn't want to tell the full story at times, which I like. It kind of leaves some things up to the imagination. A great track. Let's go into I Killed You. This album so far, as expected, has been fantastic.
Your new blow out, go round and round. The 3-6 way go round and round. The 3 siding up, it go round and round.
I gotta work, I gotta eat. If
Ooh.
they see you on top of me, I gotta leave.
Very stripped back open here.
I killed you. Your natural state is threatening to the point that I point at myself and self-esteem. Bitch, I killed you. No finding out. A couple knots was a map. We escaping them routes right on the scout. Bitch, I killed you. Taking you out. It's not a game.
Oh, this one's getting heavy. That bass sliding in.
You were so essential. How we used to
Ooh.
pick you, cause you was a simple. Berries and oils. Your nature was so simple. But I guess the coils and kings became an issue.
This one's one of the most strange instrumentals I feel like we've heard Tyler rap on.
A
little bit more abstract, more primal. This one's so like clangy, some of the effects coming in. Oh. Sliding into something beautiful. Childish Gambino's on here. Oh, I had no idea. Didn't even know. Gambino and Tyler, a match made in heaven if I've ever heard one. Gambino's feature here, not too prominent, very low key, but Tyler's always utilized features in that sense, like an instrument to his play. I Killed You was one of the most rattly, diverse instrumentals on the LP. One of the most, again, very abstract instrumentals I feel like we've heard Tyler rap on. It was just a little bizarre, but I liked it. And I like Gambino's ever so slight feature there. Here's Judge Judy.
Spitting and she got on top of me. I asked her what she into. She told me lead the way. Body rubs, bondage, and cream pies.
Oh, getting quite explicit there. All the way to cream pies.
Oral is my passion. You can ride my face. I don't want nothing in return. Your body counting who you fuck is not my concern. Cause I don't judge.
Tyler as non-judgmental as ever. Doesn't care about the history. Very explicit, this track.
She like rope. Hands around her throat.
Ooh.
A couple guys made her feel alive. She had a free spirit, you know.
This one really exploring the fetishes. No kink shaming in Tyler's book.
Sorry that I haven't been communicating much. This past year has been rough. It spread it to my head.
I love Tyler's pitched up vocals throughout this track. I don't know why, but it feels very different from any kind of pitched vocals we've heard from him so far. A very distinct personality coming through that doesn't feel like Tyler's voice or anyone else's.
When we met, if your reading is too late, I'm on the other side. But I just wanna say thank you for the moments I could grab you.
Works beautifully with the instrumental.
I hope you live your life your truest self with no regrets. I wasn't living right until they told me what was left. I'm wishing you the best. Yes, thank you for not judging, Judy.
This one's very light and airy too on that instrumental. Oh, splashing into a bassier, more beach themed kind of sound. Remind me of Call Me If You Get Lost. Really nice kind of oscillating shimmery synths. We really got some moans coming through. Really diving head first into the explicitness of this track. It's going to Sticky on that sexual note. Oh, those are the haze we've been hearing throughout the LP so far. A reoccurring motive.
Niggas popping off and niggas stepping on the gas. Pop that shit like I'm popping some gum. Sticky, sticky, sticky. Bitches getting sticky, sticky, sticky.
See, I'm a West Side nigga.
There's like a almost like childlike sort of wonder to his music that I think is so fun and infectious.
From the zone. Knock, 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 knocking at the door. I keep them nicknames on hit, cause I keep on my fist. Give a fuck about pronouns, I'm that nigga and that bitch is getting sticky, sticky, sticky.
Very acapella this one so far. Ooh. Who is this? Is this Megan? Glorilla. I'm unfamiliar, but she's coming in with heat.
Potential bitch, I am the better me. Jack of all trades, name a nigga who ahead of me. Must be God instead of me.
Showboaty as ever, comparing himself to the one above. You can't get more egotistical than that. Love that energy. Sexy Red on here too. A very very female-led, kind of feminine album. Even when it's, you know, doesn't have any women on the track, it feels very female-driven in its style. Love how just like free it is in its sound. Who is this? Is this Wayne? It is Wayne. A short verse, but again, bringing the heat with each of them. Is someone else gonna come in? Is this a posse cut?
Grab that mop. I got something, bitch.
Better find a mop, it's getting sticky in this bitch. Better find a mop, it's getting sticky in this bitch.
Getting.
Find a mop, it's getting sticky in this bitch.
This track is all over the place. I love how it's getting hungry and evil here. Twisted.
Yeah, bitch, I'm outside with it. Tell them niggas I off like holiday, man. Put some paper out.
Oh my goodness.
Louis V, say my name. We ain't worth the same amount.
Better find a mop, it's getting sticky in this bitch.
Getting quite, you know, Don Juan on here. Tyler, you are a devious creature throughout this album.
Better find a mop, it's getting sticky in this bitch.
Solange on here. Just on those backups. Incredible features. Let's keep it going. Take Your Mask Off is this one. Damn, those features were stacked, that track.
Big guns, what you got, huh? Slat, and pop back at the ops, huh? Gang this and you gang that. Don't let them make some 5 to 10 cause you had something to prove. Let's talk about it.
I hope you find yourself. I hope you find yourself.
Yeah.
This one about kind of finding your identity, perhaps.
Alexis, well, what you buying? Ain't too fond of them gauge, you don't deny it. Wait, since a kid, you knew something was up. Had you
Is he tackling religion now?
God will hate you, so you cover
He's
it
tackling
up.
everything.
Gotta hide how you live, what you really enjoy. So got a wife, got a kid, but you be fucking them boys.
Oh.
Sick of all the shame, sick of all the pain that's within. Scared of being seen, tired of
That
repeating
toxic
the sin.
masculinity.
Traded all to be free and shine bright like the sun. But you back on that religion shit as soon as you come. Let's talk about it.
I hope you find yourself. I hope you find yourself.
Beautiful track about identity so far. Just self-discovery. While still being very
Big ass house that's on the
full of
hill.
hard truths
Big
and
ass wheels
bluntness.
in the garage. 3 cute kids that's in your own, man. You would start all over if we keeping it real. Current life is full, but you ain't feeling fulfilled. Fantasize about the dream you left on the shelf. Can't even get alone time to think of killing yourself. Let's
Oh.
talk about it.
Like I said, blunt.
That shit 100 with you, with self. You don't have to put on no costume.
His mom.
Ever have to lie.
Always such a strong voice in these tracks.
Two won't stay hard, pain in your chest. Hair falling out, won't blame it on the stress. Claiming new partners, blame it on your ex. Your beats ain't placing, them songs ain't slapping, your raps ain't ranking. Your stage presence don't even be in they conversation. Go home. You ain't gotta hide from the truth. Tell your family why you such a recluse. Tell your spirit why you feeling it's a rap in the booth. Dog, how dare you try to ruin her marriage? Claim you never wore a mask and how you don't get embarrassed. Boy, you selfish as fuck. That's really why you scared.
Who's
of
he
being
going
a
in on
parent.
this track?
If therapy needed, I dare you to seek it, but I lose a bet. Your respect won't get given till we posting your death. It's clear you wish you got your flowers sent. You eat and fertilize the balance shit. Now go and stand in the sun and use them fake tears to water your roots. Take that mask off and tell them the truth. Let's talk about it, nigga.
Perhaps talking to himself here, getting very kind of exposing. A great track though about discovery, identity, confidence. loved it. Tomorrow. So far, this album has been very consistent in its sound,
Nigga, I'm getting old,
very feminine,
and I need a grandchild, please.
and also very
Just one, please.
kind of wholesome in a sense.
We need a little time running around here, okay?
I'll be fine, but don't you wait on me. I'll be fine, don't you wait for me.
Maybe a bit of anxiety about the future.
Come in, yeah. My brody had another baby, that's like number 2. My homegirl and I tired, she like 32. They sharing pictures of these moments, shit is really cute. And all I got is photos of my Rari and some silly suits.
Ooh.
Will I flip a switch in front of
I love the bass there, kind of accenting this showboaty nature, but at the same time, the lyrics seem to suggest a sense of, maybe regret in who he is. Maybe he does want this life that he speaks so much against.
Go the other way and keep my pants down. I'm too paranoid, so I'ma air it out and any pressure.
Really beautiful synthy outro. I don't know if anyone in the current mainstream tackles synths in such a beautifully melodic way like Tyler does. Let's go into Thought I Was Dead.
Dead. These niggas thought I was dead. Them niggas thought I was dead. Them niggas thought I was dead. Them niggas thought I was dead.
Maybe about... Oh, what is this horn? Oh, I love that horn being squeaky as ever.
Niggas turned 35, now they out here. Nigga rose out of right trying to program. I was really outside with the dope man. Now I really got ears, nigga.
Those haze in the background, I want to say every Tyler album has a very distinct personality and overall, I would say, tone to it. You just hear a single track off that track list, separate from the album. You'll be able to identify what element's from simply from the DNA of the tracks. Igor did it, Flower Boy did it, Call Me If You Get Lost did it, and here with the haze, I feel like that's a distinct motif that has been worked into a lot of tracks, as well as the horns and the very kind of bassy nature, being a bit more bassy than Call Me If You Get Lost, but still working the horns there. Sorry, let's keep going. Simple chorus, but the instrumental really pulls it all together.
Them niggas thought I was dead. I don't wanna be found. I don't wanna be down. I don't wanna be found. I don't wanna be.
I love the horns.
I don't wanna be found.
Brassy,
I don't wanna be down.
Oh, Tyler is totally
very thick.
sick of these
Like that shit, I do it again. 5 in the morning, I be hating on shit. 10 in the evening, I be hating on shit. 10 years later, might have changed my mind. I'm a fake ass bitch, don't kill me.
Oh, I love his humor.
I'm a big troll,
Super snide.
You know about being better than them niggas that you hate. You ain't good ass shit, you can't fear me. Try these niggas are saying me, I'm over here. These niggas thought I was dead.
Ooh,
Damn, nigga.
love the just kind of visceral energy throughout that track.
Look at you,
Here's
I
Like Him.
swear to God. Nigga, you can
Said that I make expressions like
A lot more pitched up vocals on this LP compared to his last,
my legs to my
which I'm loving.
shoulders and my chest.
Really leads into that R&B sound. Very sappy.
My weights and my posture like
Oh, is that a theremin? Nice little piano ballad.
like him. I'm chasing a ghost. I
Oh,
don't know who he is.
this one feels so vulnerable. I love that stripped back, kind of rough piano.
Chasing a ghost. Like him.
Oh, another track for his father, perhaps, his distant father. Oh, That was beautiful. Incredible transition into things here. Just swings right into this flourishing instrumental. Oh. Really has you hanging on there. I love when he gets so introspective and vulnerable, which he's been doing a lot on this LP. Great use of space throughout this album. This track especially, really stripping things back to keep you on the edge of your seat. Really like elevating in this passage. Oh. Who is that on the feature there in the background?
Not yours, not his. It was my fault. I'm sorry. You know?
Such a stark cutoff.
It was my fault. Not him, because he always wanted to be there for you. And I'm sorry I was young. But he's always wanted to be a father to you. So I fucked up. And I take ownership of that, of my choices and decisions. And I'm sorry for that. He's a good guy. So don't hold that against him, because it was my fault. Just, you know, forgive me.
Might be one of the best tracks. Might be one of the best tracks on the album. So vulnerable, great use of space. A nice touching tribute here, trying to relate to a distant father. And, you know, his mother coming at the end, feeling very regretful of her younger days. Tying into the themes of on tracks where he might speak on whether or not to have an abortion on that earlier track, which was, I believe, Hey Jane. Feels like this album has a nice kind of running thread to it. A very vulnerable album, very different in a lot of ways from this album here. Let's keep it going to Balloon. I think Like Him might be a low-key favorite to a lot of people. Might be the track that makes the most, I feel like, impact. This track's a little bit more poppy than I'm used to. It's a little weird.
Yeah, we ain't talking to your dumb ass. You could be a millionaire and still be a bum ass boy. I've been in a dream. I've been on a team. Okay, look, why I work so hard, my sole profit.
Very strange sample worked in here. Usually not that, his samples are usually not that apparent.
I can't settle down, I like options. Why I hate small talk, I like topics. How should I move? I'm at that hop, ain't no room.
What a swamp piece. Flyest bitch up in the room, I need a cockpit. I need some Peter for this pussy, they want the crock print.
Damn. I don't know who this is, but
I let it in, I let it out. I'm a bi bitch, but I need that pussy now. If he is gay, then I am gay and we are now. Me and Tyler finna take your bitch down. Keep it cute when you're in my city. I'm by 2 A-cup titties.
definitely feels like part of this kind of new wave of female rappers who are very sex focused, very positive in their energy, sex positive, one would say. A great wave, something like Sexy Red or Megan Thee Stallion. Certainly matches Tyler's energy throughout the LP. Ugh, I don't like that line. Nasty. Oh. Let's go into I Hope You Find Your Way Home. The backup vocal there throughout it from, not sure who it was. I think it was just whoever was doing the Don't Stop. Might have been Tyler himself, but not the sample. But it reminded me of Frank in a way. Where's Frank Ocean? I was hoping he'd be on this album, like many, but I don't think he will. But let's go into I Hope You Find Your Way Home to close out the LP. which has been a very revealing album so far, which we'll talk on that afterwards. Oh. This one's much slower. I thought it was going to be... I thought it was about to drop into something faster there. Sluggish in its sound. Is this going to be like a finale of a track, perhaps?
I'm slipping. I need a hand. Can you squeeze the man? My shit spinning.
There's those haze.
Spinning like a ceiling fan. No alcohol, no pill in hand. My only vice, I'm like, ooh, Spider-Man, Velcro, nigga. I'm not you. I almost had a mini me. I wasn't ready.
Oh, speaking on pregnancy.
I'm talking heavy. Then we had to guarantee ain't no confetti. 4 million.
A little throwback.
That's not a Chevy. See, that's my interest. So as of now, raising a child is not on my wish list. Neither is being safety net for bitches. I'm too selfish.
Man, this one, I'm going to speak on this track as a whole after the album ends, but a very complex and revealing LP.
I'm proud of you, bro. Like, it just never ceased to amaze me. Like, there's just no words right now how I feel. Do your thing. Just keep shining.
Getting goosebumps from his mom coming in here, really singing her praises. So much pride. Oh my god, this like soulful, beautiful synth. So full of emotion. This is an incredible synth outro. And that closes it out for CHROMAKOPIA. Wow. Just wow. That is a incredibly soulful, beautiful, soaring synth at the album there. At the end, I should say. Just absolutely stunning. I got chills when his mom came in there at the end to sing her praises. And the tears, you know, in her the tears, the cries in her vocals felt very palatable and real. So raw. That being said, let's talk on the album as a whole. Thematically, I think this might be Tyler's most dense work. It feels like he is tackling a lot of subjects here. You know, he has a loose sort of weave of a narrative here in the terms of having a child, getting older, letting go of his kind of free nature in exchange for a more focused fatherhood kind of aspect, where at the end of the album he doubles down perhaps in some ways on his very, I would say, selfish, or he would say selfish, non-caring attitude that is much more himself, much more expanded upon in the terms of wanting to be a pure musician and an artist before anything else, wanting to explore himself, his personality, his sex life, which we see quite evident on tracks like Judge Judy and Sticky. But still, even though he is very braggadocious about wanting to be very free and not tied down, there are some moments throughout this album where he kind of glimmers and shows that, you know, he does consider the possibility of maybe having a child, or it seems like there might be a little bit of loneliness that comes with not wanting to be a father or not wanting to be tied down to a singular woman or man. And I think that is what speaks volumes here is how much kind of subtext is going on, while at the same time it seems like Tyler is on the other end of the spectrum here, trying to just fully be himself and kind of tackle, you know, who he is meant to be, trying to figure out his future. Also, speaking of themes of fame, as always, paranoia seems to be a theme that comes in and out of the play. Of course, Noid being the primary track that deals with it, but it comes in a few other tracks here where he kind of hints at certain aspects of fame that feel like there is like an artificialness to maybe relationships or friends or kind of just the lifestyle that he lives. And on top of that, the music, sonically is also perhaps some of his most scattered and diverse we've ever heard on an LP before. It doesn't feel as honed in entirely on horns, although they do come into play like they did on Call Me If You Get Lost. And the R&B aspects of Igor are also on full display on some of these tracks, while the braggadocious aspects of Call Me If You Get Lost are still very much apparent, to just shout out the two recent projects. However, even if you put those aside, aspects of, I would say, Goblin also come in here. The early Tyler, that hungry, somewhat horrorcore tone, Ratata, for example, being a key one that really reminded me of like early Tyler. I feel like this is one of his albums that is his most diverse, his most expanded upon thematically, some really just like a lot to chew on in terms of lyrics. There's so much that he delves into, and it also feels like it might be his most, I would say, grand and like epic vision. It's certainly not as focused as some of these, more recent projects that he's done, but in that sense, it might be his biggest project that he's ever done. So CHROMAKOPIA, a great listen, beautiful synths, really great R&B tracks, really great, rap, heavy bass, kind of bangers throughout this thing. Very revealing tracks. Like Him, I thought too, was a really fantastic one too, that I feel like as time goes on, people are going to be talking about quite a bit, given how vulnerable it is, as he seems to reach out once again to his absent father. A theme that has been around and was pretty prominent on Wolf. And, I just love how much this album tackles a lot of ideas and concepts from the entirety of his discography and kind of wraps it all up very sweet, very tidy, very carefully in under an hour for CHROMAKOPIA. A big project, and certainly one that is going to require a lot more, listenings to fully absorb just how much is being said and kind of delivered upon here. That does it for the album today. If you like this album, if you like this review, I should say, this reaction, please hit like and subscribe to follow along and listening to more, brand new albums as well as old. We do it all on this channel. Currently, we are doing Rocktober, where we are tackling different rock albums. So if you are interested in rock music, then subscribe. On top of that, we do tackle new albums such as CHROMAKOPIA here. So if you like new albums, you like old albums, you like albums in general, and you like reactions, go ahead and hit the subscribe. But as always, my name is Randy Joe. I appreciate you watching, and I'm signing off.